Hi, I'm Christina Smith, the creator of the Yoga for the Brain series of profound philosophy and super fun puzzle books. I work with my brother and an amazing team of people to bring you this fabulous puzzle series filled with mindfulness, joy, inclusiveness, and love. It's made with a lot of love. In this, our fifth book in this series, we've invited 60 contributing authors to share their love and wisdom in the book, and to celebrate the release, we are having interviews with a few of them. And today we have puzzle number 38 authors, Elizabeth Kipp, who wrote about Keep Choosing Forgiveness. Welcome, Elizabeth. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Christina. Hi, Christina. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this project. It's very special.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I live in Lawrence, Kansas, and I'm an addiction recovery coach and a chronic pain specialist and a Kundalini yoga teacher. So
Wow.
It's right up my alley. I've already requests from this book from the yoga studio that I'm going to teach at this weekend.
Wow, that's so cool.
for their shop. Yeah.
That's great. I love it. And Lawrence, Kansas is such a wonderful town, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
Oh, 28 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I really love about your piece, Keep Choosing Forgiveness, is how you start it. And you, in the first sentence, you say, there are lots of ups and downs in life, but it's not about the ups and downs themselves, but how we go through them. Could you talk about that and how that brings you into the world of forgiveness and other things that really help us through life?
Great question. It's the meaning we're making of the ups and downs. And, what's wrong with me? And why did you do that? And we get into the blame and shame business pretty quick. We're quick to judge the moment. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that's how humans are. I mean, I'm one of them. So I wrote about this because I learned it.
Yeah.
One of my, I've got two favorite sayings, and they really, I couldn't put them in this, but they're in this, and they're all around this. One of it, and they're both by Yogi Bhajan. He said, I walk in a constant shower of self-forgiveness. This Yogi Bhajan said that.
Wow.
Guy. I walk in a constant shower of self-forgiveness. And the other one he said was, the strength of your judgment is your only enemy.
Wow.
So when we make things mean things, and they're negative, and we get down on ourselves, or we get down on other people, we've forgotten compassion, right? So the forgiveness practice comes in to remind us to stay in compassion and to forgive ourselves for our human frailties.
Well, we kind of all have them, and that's for sure. And, for me, like once I realized that, I have just as many faults as anybody else, it makes me a lot more compassionate first towards others, because oftentimes I really feel like it's easier to be compassionate towards others than it is towards self. And then to turn it around on ourselves, because we judge ourselves, most of us, more harshly than anyone else ever judges us. What do you think?
That's the truth. That's the truth. The hardest to forgive is ourselves. And it's a practice.
Well,
that's why I say keep choosing it, because it's a practice.
And, some of the things we can forgive ourselves that we might not even think of as not knowing better at the time. I mean, we're always doing the best that we can, but then we get hard on ourselves for not knowing better at the time. And, life is for learning. That's really why we're here. What are some of the other kind of things that we need to learn to forgive ourselves for?
Well, you just said something very interesting. I should have known, right? But I didn't. So you know what that's a recipe for? Suffering. I didn't know, and I should have, I just, yeah. So we certainly need to forgive ourselves for just beating ourselves up. I mean, when is it going to stop?
Exactly. I
Right?
mean, that's just crazy. So you have three things to keep choosing in your puzzle.
Okay.
Could you address all three of them, please?
So keep choosing compassion, keep choosing forgiveness, and keep choosing love.
So if you can, as your mind starts to tell you whatever it wants to tell you, then you bring compassion, forgiveness, and love, and go, wait a second, but is this compassionate? Is this forgiving? And is this full of love? Is that kind of what you mean?
That's it, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard.
Do you have any advice or tips for someone who really hasn't experimented with this before as to where to start?
Well, I would start exactly where I am. Start with the current layer. What's showing up in your life that you're having trouble forgiving, and what's underneath that? What is that about? You holding a grudge? This is an injustice, and this is a big piece. Is I do this thing. I'm an ancestral clearing practitioner too, and it has a big forgiveness component. And when we can't forgive, we ask for the creator of all that is to come in and help us forgive.
So
And we get help.
that is amazing. So would you say, I mean, what you're saying to me seems so important for all of us in society now, for how society is going as a whole. Doesn't this seem like a pretty good thing to do for all of it, for all of the polarities that we're experiencing?
That's where I make my stand.
Well, good. Well, and what kind of puzzles do you like to do?
Oh, I do like word puzzles of all kinds. Um, I like crossword puzzles too. I like the word search is fun. And I like poetry, which I consider to be a puzzle,
Wow.
because I'll start with like a little kernel of a line, and then these things just kind of come in, and I put them all together and it turns into a poem. It's the coolest thing. So I
Yeah,
that's
you're
what I
putting all
do.
the pieces together one by
Mhm.
one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
thank you so much, Elizabeth. If you want to pick up your copy of Inspired Wisdom Word Search Yoga for the Brain, you can do it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Target.com. Visit a local independent bookstore and bring more health and happiness into your life, as well as
forgiveness,
keep choosing,
compassion,
and keep choosing.
love.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Christina. Take care.
Bye.
Bye now.